from doing what he's done in the past seasons. This is your Denver Sports Daily for December 12th.
The biggest stories, the latest news. It's Denver Sports Daily.
Now, Jamal Murray's struggles have been holding the Nuggets back from crossing that threshold to a championship team once again, and he's been faced with even more adversity once again. Jamal Murray's injuries have been a major talking point for a large portion of his time in Denver, and he's dealing with yet another injury. Murray has missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury that has limited him in practice, and it limited him yesterday as well. He is listed as a game time decision for tomorrow's game, but it's doubtful that he'll play. Even without the injuries, though, Jamal hasn't been playing at the level we all know he can. He's currently averaging 17.8 points, which is his lowest since the 2017 and 2018 season. And he's doing that on 42.8% shooting. That's his lowest since his rookie season. And also, he's averaging a career low 33.3% from the three-point line. It's just there's something not clicking, and it's just this season. We haven't seen this kind of play from Jamal Murray in a long time. And even when we were seeing this kind of play, back when he was a rookie, back when he was, 2-3 years in the league, that was him at a young age. This is supposed to be him in his prime, him when he has gone to a level that other players haven't, winning a championship. Everybody's wanted him to become an all-star, and he's not going to do it this year with this kind of play. Now, the Nuggets right now are 12-10, and they are the 7th seed in the West. They will play the LA Clippers tomorrow at 7 p.m., and with Jamal out, Russell Westbrook is going to start most likely, and he's been playing at a high level, taking over for Jamal. He's been winning games as a starting point guard, and we've seen Jokic having to carry this tremendous load on his back, and you're not seeing other players have to carry as much as Nikola Jokic, and that's just another sign for MVP. He's going to win MVP again. I would bet my life on it, but I would rather have a championship run than an MVP. If Jamal Murray could come in and start taking away half of the scoring load from Nikola Jokic, half of the assist load from Nikola Jokic, and they're both averaging 22, 25, something like that would be incredible. I'd rather have both of these star players that we're paying so much just go out there and win games. I'd rather have that than an MVP. Now, Nikola Jokic said a couple days ago that when you're playing bad, there are incentives in other countries, like other places you play, where they're going to, you don't go out and you don't perform as well, you might not get a raise, that kind of stuff. And Jokic is right. He's performing at the highest level and his team around him is not. We've seen the same thing from MPJ. He's just not performing at that pay demands. When you get paid that much, you should be performing at a level higher than high. You should be performing at a level comparative to, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, LeBron James. And I know those are big names I'm throwing out, but when you're getting paid that much, we want you to go out and win games for the fans. You got to go out there and win games. And it's just not happening right now. And it's because of the play from Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. So hopefully they could turn it around. Couple days off for Jamal Murray, get healthy, get better, come back and, catch fire. That's what we need. That's what the Nuggets need. That's what the fans need. And that's what everybody's going to need if you want to make a championship run this season. So that's the best that I can hope for. Just get healthy and come back and catch fire. Now, it is an Avalanche game day tonight. The Avs are back at home facing the Utah Hockey Club after their 5-game road trip where they went 4-1. Now, they won the past 3, and they've been amazing. They're coming into this game as 2-point favorites. Now, the Avs are rolling right now because of that large trade for Scott Wedgwood. He came in, and the Avs traded away Justus Annunen to the Nashville Predators, and he's made an immediate impact. In these 4 games, he's 3-1, only allowing 1.59 goals per game and recording a .944 save percentage. His play has been the main reason the Avs are winning right now. And sure, it's been a very small sample size of seeing him play, but him and Mackenzie Blackwood are going to be great. I've got high hopes for this team now. There is so much riding on if they can get to the playoffs again. This championship window is still open. And yes, I think they'll go to the playoffs, but I don't think that they'll win the Stanley Cup or get that far even. But now my ties are starting to change. My ties are starting to turn because of these trades, and that's just where I'm at right now. But give me a bigger sample size, and I will have a better evaluation on what this team can do, because right now they're looking great. They're looking amazing right now. Mikko's looked great. It's been so good right now. These past 4 games, especially past 4 or 5. I want to see them roll it into the home games. That's what they need to do. They're back at home right now tonight. So that's going to be where they need to make a statement. Now that game is going to be tonight at 7 p.m. So I'm going to be watching, and I'm going to be back tomorrow, recap of that game, because I'm going to be very invested to see, how's our play doing when we're back at home, is what's going to happen here. Now there's going to be more, to come. And I just want a bigger sample size on these goalies, especially to see if they can get to the promised land. Now, the Broncos are preparing for one of the most important games of the season. On Sunday, the Broncos are going to be hosting the Indianapolis Colts in a game which, if the Broncos can win, they will set themselves up in a position to all but clinch the playoffs. Right now, the Broncos are 8-5. And if they get to 9-5, they would need to lose out, and the Colts would need to win out to take their position. So it's a really good spot that they're putting themselves in. If you're being talked about, you can get to the playoffs unless you lose out, because that doesn't happen often. Now, knock on wood. I'm knocking on wood, because that's not something I want to throw out in the air ever. But they're currently tied with the Baltimore Ravens and the LA Chargers at 8-5. They're all 8-5 for those wild card positions. But the problem is those 2 teams have the tiebreaker over the Broncos. Now, this week, the Broncos take on the Colts, but next week, the Broncos will take on the Chargers. If the Broncos can win those 2 games, they'll put themselves in a great position to avoid the Bills in that first week of the wild card round, which would be the most important thing. You don't want to get to the playoffs and then have it all fall down to Josh Allen, and who's looking like he's on an MVP, season right now, and just going out and demolishing teams. You don't want that your first round. But those other 2 teams are going to be wanting that just as much. They don't want to have to go out there and face the Bills. The best case scenario for the Broncos is for the Baltimore and the Chargers to both lose a game, and the Broncos to just win out the whole season and possibly face the Houston Texans in the first round. That would be the best case scenario. But, they should be ready. This is what they've been playing for this whole season. And I already said that, they were on a rebuild year, and that's just not looking like that's possible anymore. That's not looking like it's the way they're doing it anymore. This isn't a rebuild year. I don't think that this is a rebuild year. The Broncos have been getting a lot of love from around the nation after unexpectedly getting to 8-5 in that rebuild year. And Sean Payton was asked how he handles that. He responded, "Well, I can't control it. For the players, I don't pay attention to it. We don't really have time. Look, it's the coverage of our game." He went on, 6 weeks ago, I'd kind of roll my eyes, but now you get into 4 weeks left, and these teams, each team knows exactly where they're at and what they need to do, ourselves included. So Sean's going out there. He knows what the Broncos need to do. He knows what he needs to do to get to the playoffs. And all that talk about, the Broncos are looking good right now. Are they going to the playoffs? He was brushing it off, brushing it to the side. But now it's here. That talk is more action now. They need to move and get into the playoffs, and they're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to be a playoff team in this rebuild year, and it's looking great for them. So that's what I'm going to leave it off with today. That is going to be your Denver Sports Daily. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow. We got the Nuggets game tomorrow. We're recapping the Avalanche game, and then we got a few big games this weekend with the Broncos and CU. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, but that's going to do it for you guys today. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.